For the second year in a row, the Chicago Bears have the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Well done, Carolina. Ask anyone in the know and they will tell you this year's number 1 pick is way more valuable than last year's. Last year I was all for Chicago trading away the first pick because I didn't think Bryce Young or CJ Stroud were franchise QBs. Sorry CJ. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. This year is a lot harder though. Many believe Caleb Williams and Drake May are day 1 franchise QBs. So let's take a gander at the pros and cons of keeping Justin Fields. Pros. In the 3 years since Fields was drafted, Chicago has been a basket case. Well, I mean, much longer than that, but let's just talk about the 3 years that Fields has been there. Coaching and personnel changes, different systems, different voices in his ear. All of this can be difficult to overcome for even the most seasoned veterans, let alone a kid in his early 20s. With some consistency in coaching personnel, we could see Fields' game elevate. The players around him. We've seen time and time again, especially with young QBs, how hard it is to be successful with an average supporting cast. In his first 2 years, Chicago was just low in terms of offensive players. Fast forward to 2023, and Fields has DJ Moore to throw to. Khalil Herbert was decent in the 12 games he played. Also, the O-line, whilst not elite by any means, this group is young and improving. Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins, Nate Davis and Braxton Jones could be really, really good next year if they stay on course. After all, they are 22, 25, 27 and 24 respectively. Using the first overall pick to select who you think is the best non-QB in the draft, whilst I wouldn't do this, it is a possibility. The better option would be to trade the first pick. Some front office staff around the league believe Chicago can get 3 first-round picks this year. Make no mistake, this is a talented young roster on the up. Surrounding them with even more young talent would be very tempting. If the Bears can trade the first pick for 3 first-round picks, that includes a top 15 pick in this year's draft, that could set them on course for playoff success next year. In this scenario, you could land 2 of the top players in this year's draft. Receiver, O-line or pass rusher. These positions are pretty stacked this year, so if the Bears get 2 of these 3 positions in the top 15, they could easily contend next year. Maybe you could even repeat last year's form and get 2 first-round picks and a star player. With $64 million in cap space, adding another established star would be very, very easy. Caleb Williams is the consensus number 1 QB in this draft. He is the most talented. Or is he? Williams elected not to play in USC's bowl game against Louisville. Instead, backup Miller Moss threw for 372 yards and 6 touchdowns. Remember, that's against the 22nd ranked defense in the nation. The problem is, Williams might be the problem, if recent stories are anything to go by. In said bowl game, it appeared that Trojans players were taking a bit of a shot at Williams, saying things like, "There is no egos now," and "We're a team now." There's also rumours he wants part ownership of the team that drafts him. Mate, you're not Brady, tone it down a bit, you dickhead. He has also refused to speak with media after losses. That won't fly in the NFL, young fella. Williams has also reportedly said he would only play for the Cowboys, Raiders, Vikings, Giants and 49ers. Settle it, please. Keep in mind, these are just rumours, so maybe I'm being too hard on him. Okay, cons. Fields is still on his rookie contract in 2024, giving Chicago plenty of flexibility for the off-season ahead. But they'll have to decide on his 5th-year option soon, and if they accept it, they will owe him over $20 million in 2025. Then, the extension in the franchise tag would come into play. Fields' current projected market value gives him a $43.9 million annual salary, which would make him the 9th highest paid QB in the NFL. They'll have the option of a franchise tag, which costs $35.9 in 2024 and will likely be even higher in 2025. That's a lower cost, but still a very steep price for a player they might still be unsure of. Williams, or any other QB for that matter, would be cheaper for longer. You get to start fresh, and you still have the 10th overall pick to add another top-end talent. You could also potentially get a 2nd-round pick in exchange for Justin Fields. I'm looking at you, Atlanta. Maybe you could even get a straight player swap with someone like Kyle Pitts. I know he's had his struggles, but something tells me he might be a guy one day. If Williams is as talented as some people say, then he'll just simply be too irresistible not to take him. Fields has struggled for most of his career to be a consistent threat throwing the ball. If you stay with Fields, you risk being stuck in the middle of the pack for a long time if he doesn't improve. The team around him is just too good to get another top 10 pick for the next few years. So this may be your last chance to get an elite QB if you don't think Fields can transform into that. My conclusion is I think I would keep Fields and draft around him. I believe he has the tools to become a really, really good QB. But you let me know in the comments what you would do and if I'm way off the mark here, which I don't think I am.